Well, hello, friends. Today we're going to work on the browser a little bit because it's been a while, and it's good to keep things rotating, you know. So what we're going to do is first child selector and last child selector, and I'm just going to look those up right quick. We'll get the MDM page because those are usually very good. That's the Mozilla Developer Network, I think. Last child. So basically, it's a selector that says select any of this element that is the first child in its parent. So it has no previous sibling, but potentially next sibling. The last child is the other way around. It's the last element among its siblings. So actually, it says here that previously you had to have a parent, but now you don't anymore. Not exactly sure where that matters. I guess if you are running selectors on a standalone fragment. But anyway, in this case, we are just going to implement these selectors. So do they have any examples? That would be nice. Perfect. So we'll just make this exact example and then try to make it work. So base element on we'll make a little test page here. So we'll call it, I guess we'll call it first child HTML and last child HTML. And body HTML. Okay. And here we're just going to grab this style. Oh shit, what the heck did I press? And this is the HTML we're going to put in our body. And maybe we'll just zoom things in this way just to make it a little more aesthetic. Okay. Oh, and let's give ourselves a little title. It's always nice to have a title. First child test. And let's see what they had in the last child test. Can just copy the same stuff basically, but a slightly different text. Oh, wait. Thing here. All right. So let's see that they work right here. So this is first child. And this is last child. This text is selected. Yeah. Okay. So we have our little demos or examples or whatever. So let's make them work. Now, just to verify that they don't actually already work. I'm pretty sure I didn't implement this. But we'll just open them up in the browser and see what they look like. And I realize now that I should also have added them to the little welcome page that we have. So I think I have, I just have to remove my override welcome page here and put these guys here. So we'll do first child and last child. It's been so long since I've been working on the browser, I feel like. It's a little bit of a... I guess I feel like I didn't want to touch it for a while because I wanted to step away from it after I had that like very active period where I did almost only browser hacking. And then I did almost only DevTools hacking. And now I'm trying to mix things up again, and it's a bit nicer when we vary what we work on. So, first child. This doesn't look right at all. They appear to all be selected. What about the last child? It has a bad title. And we are selecting more than one of them, so definitely not working right. I'm just going to fix that. Last child. Page title. Okay, now let's go and implement this selector. So first thing is we're going to have to parse out this type of thing, and it's a pseudo-class. So we'll just look for pseudo-classes right here. So currently we have the link and hover pseudo-classes. So I think we can just add 2 of these basically and parse them out. So we'll say first child and last child. So when we encounter, basically we encounter a colon followed by first child or last child, then we will assign these pseudo-classes. So we have to teach it about them, of course. So first child and last child. And then that's taken care of there. Now we have to go and look in the selector engine where we actually run it, and we get this helpful warning here from the IDE that we're not handling the first child and last child. So it's very easy to see where we should put these. Simple selector pseudo-class first child. So to determine if an element matches the first child selector, we should check if he has any previous sibling. So if he has a previous sibling, that means he's not the first child. Previous sibling, return false. Otherwise, continue. And then for the last child, if the element has a next sibling, that means that he does not match the last child pseudo class, because he wouldn't have a next sibling if he were the last child in the parent. So I feel like maybe this is everything that we need. We'll see. It's almost like maybe this would be a little too easy. Maybe we should do some more selectors if this works out already. Just looking here, like what's a good one to do? First of type, maybe. Disabled is another one. Checked, kind of interesting. Active, also interesting. Could do that for links. Make links show up differently when they are being activated. So first child. No, this did not work out. This should be selected, but it's not. Okay, last child, also not working out. Crap. All right, well, oh, oopsie. Let's go backwards. So let's look at what's going wrong here. First starting with the DOM tree. So how does this DOM actually look? This text is selected. So we can't see the attributes here. That's a bit annoying. Maybe we should go and improve the DOM inspector. But maybe not at this very moment. So we'll just dump the DOM out instead. So we have a P here. This should be selected. And we have this first child selector. But if we dump out the tree, this is our selector. Maybe the dump function doesn't know about. Oh, shush. Where do we have the pseudo classes? Oh, we don't even dump them out. Okay. Well, selector engine. So what did the DOM actually look like? The P. Oh, I think I see what's going wrong. So we were checking if he had a previous sibling or not, right? And apparently it doesn't, because the selector doesn't match. But if we look at the DOM tree, so the clue was actually here. Oh, not in the head, in the body. So here's the div, here's the P. This one should be selected, but it's not, because this right here is his previous sibling. This little piece of text, and that's because HTML is freaking weird with white space. So, I mean, if you're working with web stuff, then you already know this, but the fact that we have a little bit of white space here, this generates a text node. So I bet you if we did that, got rid of the text node, that would make it the first child. So we can actually edit the source here. And we'll just do that. Reload, and it works because now there is no text node. If you look here, see, text node is directly a child of the div, so it works. So what we have to do is look at the previous element sibling rather than just the previous sibling, because text nodes are a different type of node than the element. So we only care if we have an element before, and there's already a function for that. Thank you, past Andreas. And we can use next element sibling as well. That will just skip over text nodes, basically. So we can recompile. Empty. An element that has no children. Interesting. It's a nice little example here. Maybe we should implement that as well. Empty selector. I think we'll do that as well. But first, let's just make sure that this works. First child, working. Last child, working. Very cool. Okay, so that is first child and last child. So let me add those. Git commit -a libhtml add support for the first child and last child pseudo-classes. Support. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Now let's do empty as well. So I guess we can go in the selector here first. So empty, it's another pseudo class. The way we're going to handle it, simple selector, pseudo class, empty. Let's just, I think it's just that you have no children, but let's just see. The empty pseudo class represents any element that has no children. Children can be either element nodes or text, including whitespace. Comments, processing instruction, blah, 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 do not affect whether an element is considered empty. So if you have element or text children, then you're not empty. Okay, so if we have a first child of type element, or wait, hold on. If we don't have a first child of type element and we don't have a first child of type text, then we don't match. Okay, and let's go and put this in the parser. So if pseudoname is empty, then the simple selector pseudo class is selectors simple selector pseudo class empty. All right, and maybe we can also borrow their nice little test page there. So did we have a shell already open? I guess not. Base element on that. Call it empty. Can just do that. Oh wait, hold on. This is not the test that we wanted to have, but okay. Oh, this is interesting. It has comments and stuff here to make sure that we test the mechanism that requires us to have element or text children. So, boom. I wonder if we will succeed with this quite simple implementation. Oh, I forgot to, dang it. Forgot to edit here. Empty. Okay. Oh, we forgot something. Dang it. All right, text was not declared in the scope. Well, seems like the selector engine has forgotten to include DOM text. Not to worry. It's kind of nice to implement some of these. Wonder if there's any other ones I would like to do. Link, we already have that one, right? Link, yeah, right. None of the others really feel that that straightforward at the moment. Maybe first of type or enabled, disabled. It's default. Oh, I don't even know how to do that one. Anyway. Empty. Ploop. I will be pink. You are not pink. Okay. So we have some trouble here. So how did we mess this up? I mean, at least I hope it's not just my screen messing with me, but we'll dump out the layout tree and take a look. So, okay, maybe it should be pink. It's just that I'm not handling this correctly. Because we don't know the color pink, I guess. Then let's fix that. Wait, what am I doing? I wanted empty. Pink. Background. So we gotta hack this here a little bit because we don't support the background shorthand property yet. So we'll hack that. And HTML pink color. What is that color code? FFCockB. All right. Color. So I think we'll just add it to this list here. This is not very fancy. Should do this in some, I don't know, maybe we should make a JSON file or something with these things, but right now they just live here. I just add them as I go. So let's see if this works out. And then what do we want this to look like? So in Firefox right now, this page would render, that looks kind of bizarre, but all right. And what if we opened it in Chromium? All right, very similar. So what does this look like for us? Empty. I will be pink. Very strange way that things end up here. I don't feel like this is working out right, so let's take a look at the inspection here. This guy is green because it's empty. That's only a common child, okay? This one, and in our case, dump the layout tree. In our case, the first div is pink, even though it's supposed to not be pink. Wait, am I doing this logic wrong? Yeah, right. I'm supposed to be checking if it's empty, not if it's non-empty. So if I have a first element, or if I have a first text, then I'm not empty. Sometimes logic is easy to get upside down, don't you think? Not always, but sometimes. So let's run this good boy and hope for a good boy result. Here we go. And this looks just like this, except slightly different. We don't have that weird new line there. But I suspect that is some entirely different problem. Why is there a why is there padding after that thing? Or why is there space here? How do you figure this out in Firefox? I don't know how to use Firefox. I just want to see the box model. Am I even in Firefox? Yes, I am. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this guy is 8080. No margin. This guy here is 8080. Is there like a new line there then? That I'm just not seeing. Maybe that's it. Just curious, how do we get rid of that? Oh, it's the, oh, maybe it's the P tag. I guess it's the P. Anyway, that's a layout issue. I'm not going to work on that now. But, okay, that means that we actually succeed in rendering this. So let's commit once again. Get to add, withdraw, add color pink. No, actually, we parse pink HTML color. It's not an HTML color name, it's just a parse the color name pink to FF Kokuba. Or maybe we should write those in that notation. That's nice. Okay, and then we just want to add that little test. Base home and on dub empty. Lib HTML. Support the empty pseudo class. Maybe I shouldn't hyphenate pseudo class. All right, that's nice. Any other selector that stands out that we want to do right now? Only if type? Only child? Only child? I don't think I've ever seen that used. But why don't we add it? An element without any siblings. Oof. Let's add him. I'm not an only child. I have I'm the oldest child. I have 2 younger siblings, a brother and a sister. But if you're an only child, then this selector is for you. Only child. Oof. Maybe we'll put it together with the other children. And selector engine. Selector, simple selector, pseudo class. Only child. So I guess if you have a previous element sibling or a next element sibling, you're not the only child. Or element, next element sibling, return false. So as you can see here, this selector matching function is all about rejection. So if we keep going, it's because the selector is still good. But the moment we hit a reason to reject it, then we early return out. I find it a very nice way to structure this code and keep it kind of understandable. You're just always looking for a reason to stop matching this particular selector. So now we have only child, and did they have like a little example? Yes, they do. Isn't that nice of them? I almost feel bad for borrowing all their examples, but So convenient. OnlyChild. All right, and how do they test that? Like this, all right? Oh, we don't have the outline property, so we're gonna have to improvise something here. Let's say a border, border width 1px, color, current color. Oh, do we support current color actually? Oh, we don't support it, but if border color has value, then do this. Otherwise, don't do that. Okay, so let's not say a color. See what happens. And because we don't have the outline property, we should implement that at some point. Right now, we don't have it. Oh shit! Wait a minute. This is a basic example, and here is a list example. I'm getting carried away here. I just want this little example. Today we are borrowing examples. Thank you, Mozilla. Thank you, Mozilla, for your nice examples. Gotta give it to the Mozilla people. They're very good at documentation. I really like MDN. Fantastic website. And as I was saying in my quality of browser engines commute talk that I was doing, I really do think that the Mozilla project has a lot of soul. They're very, very enthusiastic and caring people. I'm very grateful for their documentation in particular. It's a lovely thing that we have as many browser engines as we do. I wish we had more. I'm trying to add one to the mix, I guess. More browser engines equals better, that's for sure. It's a damn shame when people decide to consolidate engines instead of keeping their own mature engines going. Microsoft, you silly gooses, silly geese. OnlyChild. Forgot to do this part. Oh, and let's put him next to the other children. He's an only child. He needs to be with the other children. Okay. All right, and after we get this one working, I'm probably gonna call it a day. But here we go. I'm an only child. These don't render exactly the way I expected them to. Let's see. I am the first sibling. I'm the second sibling. Yeah, right, because we don't support inline block. But you can clearly see that even though the divs are, not inline block, it still looks correct-ish. Ish. The child effect, at least, is working. So, a lot of work to do in layout, but OnlyChild seems to work. OnlyChild. HTML. Support the OnlyChild pseudo-class. Okay, so I'm gonna knock it off now. So this will be the end of today's video. If you made it this far, then I thank you for sticking it out while I add more and more pseudo-classes. I hope you saw something interesting here, and that your projects are going as well as mine. Because I hope everyone has a good project that they're working on. And I hope you have a great day. And what else is the thing to say? I don't know. It's just nice that you're all here hanging out with me. And it's nice to do a little bit of browser hacking again. So thanks everybody for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Bye.